tomorrow or watch it die. Candles flicker, maps unfold, hands are shaking, hearts are bold. Beneath the soil, seeds we plant, hope won't falter, no it can't. Hold the line, don't back away, steel and grit, the price we pay. Freedom song, the rebels cry, prep for tomorrow or watch it die. Torch in hand, the signal burns, a lesson taught, a fate we earn. Walls may crack, stones will fall, but the spirit stands through it all. Echoing cross the valley's breath, the beat of hearts defies the death. Old trees swaying, roots run deep, they guard the dreams we'll always keep. Torch in hand, the signal burns, a lesson taught, a fate we earn. Freedom song, the rebels cry, prep for tomorrow or watch it die. Torch in hand, the signal burns, a lesson taught, a fate we earn. Walls may crack, stones will fall, but the spirit stands through it all.
Rust in the flagpole stains the wind. Trucks roll heavy, hearts wear thin. Freedom ain't free, it's a price we pay. Real hard work ain't the modern way. Coast to coast we bled to build. Fields and factories, sweat, sweat spilled. Now they talk like we're the past, but we'll stand firm, gonna make this last. Land of the brave, land of the free, no suits or lies gonna bury me. True red blood runs strong tonight, but we stand firm, gonna make this last. Land, let the brave, land of the free, no suits or lies gonna tucked it way in the hills, dust and soil on his hands. Words of rebellion carved deep in the land. Axes line the cabin, powder ready to spread. Local preppers living where freedom dared to tread. Echoes of colonies rumble in his bones. Fife and drum dreams beneath the craggy stones. He talks of liberty, whispers the old fight. Flames of revolution burning through the night. Local prepper knows the song of the guns, where the flags once flew in the rising sun. His voice like thunder from a time now blurred. He speaks the truth no man has ever heard. Old maps, creased ridges from battles long gone. Lines drawn crooked, but the spirit moves on. A chest of stories hidden beneath the floor. Chains once shattered by the ones who swore. Lantern flicker, shadows dance with ghosts. Ancestors linger haunting the coast. He waits for the reckoning, sharpening his blade. Born a revolution, unafraid, unafraid. Ever blurred. Local prepper knows the song of the guns, calls out the past strides as the blood spun. His voice like thunder, drumming the stir. No time has ever blurred. When central power rules the game, when thoughts controlling freedom's name, when the governed lose to government might, tell me who's got the wrong kind of Reich.
Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that new music for your listening pleasure while you waited for me to figure out what button to push this morning. If you must know, that music was made with artificial intelligence, and the girlfriend did it for me. Pretty interesting, sure. I'm not sure I understand the question. Let's see here. What do we got? Let's see here. I guess let's just go ahead and knock it off. Alrighty then. Also, psst, big good to see you, my friend. Number two, Rose, you are deterred. I'm gonna go ahead and click off that now. And who do we got here? We got Tim Huther. We got Debbie's in here. Catitude. Good to see you, lady. West Virginia Pappy. Soap. Deanna is in the house. We got Oops. Barefoot in Cactus. Don't recognize you. Make sure you subscribe. Let's let's have a relationship. Let's see. We got Rose in the we got Light Raider. Laszlo's here. Who else we got here? The whole thing just moved. Blaine showed up. My second life. Good morning, my friend. Vegan Cookies. Good to see you. Ian's in the house. We got Oops. Who else we got in here? Cool Cold showed up. Good to see you, go. Good to see you, bro. And then Sassy Gal Prepping. Good to see you. Senior Prepping. I like that. I like that. All right, let's see here. So what do we got going on here? Looks like all the gauges are green. Hopefully my sound is 5 by 5. 'Cause I checked it this time like I'm supposed to. Apparently I was just getting lazy. That's why my was so bad last week. I was just getting lazy. Okay, so with that said, I'm starting to get some questions, and kind of the inspiration for today's live stream is from some people that I talked to the other day at the old Wally World, who are worried about tariffs and the price of things going up. And I explained to them the idea behind food insurance, and they were like, "Well, how much do I need to have set aside?" So we did a little research, figured out a few stuff. Off Top Chat. I'm in Top Chat. Damn it! Thank you very much, Coco. Live chat activated. Okay. And actually, if you're talking about what's on the screen, I that's not something that I can actually control. That is something that is done through YouTube. But I'll look into it. I'll look into it. But I am now officially off Top Chat in my viewing area on my one of my screens here. But so we come up with this 30-day plan for them. I was like, you know what? I wonder if people actually out there are even thinking about this anymore. Everybody's kind of got this. Oh, things are going really great with the government. Oh, but I can take my foot off the gas. And I recommend that you do not do it because there are um, enemies out there, both foreign and specifically domestic, that want things not to go good for Captain Red Tie. They want things to be bad so they can say, look what happens when you put somebody in like that. Yeah, this is what happens. And so they're looking for your destruction, for you to feel bad. Now, with that said, oh, I gotta fix this cable right here. There we go. And hopefully this button works because my Stream Deck stopped working right in the middle of the live stream on Friday. Pilgrim showed up. Good to go. Good to go. All right, looks like my chat rate is 1, so put something in the chat and I shall get busy. Also, if you guys haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, please do so now. It does help the stream. So the question is, how much food to store? Um, um, are you serious? My Stream Deck is not working. This is a problem. This is a pretty crazy problem, guys. Let's see here. Let me click that button. Let me click that button. And let me click that button. It's not working. It's not working. Let me check this button right here. Not working. Oh, because it updated. A newer version of this, that, and the other thing are now available. Isn't that freaking special? All right. I guess I can't even use it. I can't even use it. Let me see here. Let me click this over here and this is crazy, man. Ah, no, I can't do this in the middle of a live stream. I won't do that to you guys. I'll have to fix this thing when it's off. So I'm gonna go into the backup. Go into my backup. Where's my backup at? Right there. Right there. We're gonna go to the backup. Got to have, one is none, two is one. You got to have your backups, guys. You got to have your backups. All right, scroll in, scroll in, scroll in. There we go. So, how much food should a household maintain? The minimum is 30 days in my book. Food stockpiles per person. Um, Hold on, that ain't even gonna work. That is not even gonna work. Hold on a second. That is not even good. These notes are just gonna have to be as squirrely as they come. Let's see, change this to that. I cannot believe this thing did an update. Right. I normally set this whole thing up half an hour before the live stream starts and up check everything. And it decides, oh no, there's an update. Oh, by the way. All right, so a household should maintain a minimum 30-day food stockpile per person to prepare for disruptions like natural disasters, power outages, or supply chain failures. As grocery stores typically hold only a 3-day supply, which can deplete rapidly in a crisis. For most short-term emergencies, such as blizzards or localized flooding, 30 days provides a sufficient buffer. However, for severe scenarios like prolonged grid failures or economic collapse, extending the stockpile to 3 to 6 months is prudent. Also, as soon as I get done with this, I will put the poll in real quick. It's going to be depending on household resources and regional risks. To calculate the needs aim for between 2,000 and 25 calories per adult daily, maybe adjusted for age and activity level. It kind of equates to 60 to 75,000 calories per person for 30 days. Now, calorie dense shelf stable foods like rice, 600 calories per day per dry cup, beans, 400 calories per cup cooked, pasta, oats, and canned goods like tuna, soups, vegetables are kind of ideal. Now, for example, a 30-day stockpile for one person might include 10 oats, or I'm sorry, 10, where are we at here? 10 pounds of rice, 8 pounds of beans, 30 to 60 cans of mixed goods, 5 pounds of oats, and 2 to 3 pounds of peanut butter, totaling about 30 to 40 pounds. Buying in bulk from warehouse stores or co-ops can reduce costs while choosing compact packaging, e.g., vacuum sealed bags or bulky boxes, optimizes storage space. Households should assess local risks. Urban areas may face faster supply depletion, while rural ones might need more due to isolation and scale accordingly. Now, going to the chat, looks like we've got Jennifer showed up. Good to see you, Jennifer. Vegan Cookie said, "What stream deck do you use?" I just picked up the Rodeo Cast Duo. Oh, I just used a little one, dude. I've had this thing for years. It's always been more than enough. I've always figured that like if you got more buttons, the more buttons are the more confusing. So I just go with what is this? One, two, three, four, the 12 button. The 12 button stream deck. If you guys didn't know what that is, it's kind of like a little I can push the button and it will change things on my screen. Let's see here. Senior Prepping says, I'm planning on storing enough for a decade for a family with large freezers, canning, and buying lots of canned goods. I'm getting there. Dude, that's a lot of damn food, but that's a lot of rotation stuff too. Sound is working well today. Thank you very much, Ro. Vegan says 32 days of food. Uh, Who says, "What's the glyphosate? Glyphosate. And I owe you guys a poll question. Let me move some stuff on this screen, and we're gonna go ahead and scroll all the way up there. I'm gonna get that. Let's see here. Boom. We're gonna add this. We're gonna start a poll. We're gonna start a poll. If you guys have any comments, put them in the comments. And when I go to, if you're new to the channel, the way I do this is I read some stuff, you write some stuff. I read about the stuff that you wrote, and or I talk about the stuff that you wrote, and we can move on from there. It kind of keeps things rolling just a bit. All right, poll question activated. Boop, 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 boop. What is the minimum food stockpile duration recommended for disaster preparedness? And it's 7 days, 30 days, 6 months, or 1 year, and people are already jumping in there. Like someone just like the lifeguard just blew their whistle for you to just leap into the pool. Let's see. Let's see here. Sassy girl says, or sassy gal, sassy. Too many words. Too many words. Sassy says, I have a working pantry that has a stockpile for about 3 months of everything we use on the daily for a family of five. Long-term storage is separate, and I'm working on building that up to 6 months. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see here. Sound is coming through good today. Missed notification, but made it. I made Bradley has made it. Smash that like button. You know, thank you, thank you. And Sassy's agreeing with Pilgrim. Now, let me go back and find my place. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now water is actually critical. If you didn't know this, water, food security in that order, required at least 1 gallon per person per day for drinking. That's approximately 16 cups of water, believe it or not, totaling 15 gallons. Actually, it's 30 gallons for 30 days. You know, you want to include water for cooking, i.e., things like rehydrating grains and basic sanitation, like washing dishes and hygiene. Then that kind of raises the target to 2 gallons per person per day. But I always tell people if you can go for three, you're golden. The rule of threes always works with water. Or basically 30 gallons, or actually, no, that would be 60 for two and 90 for three for a month. For a family of four, this means a buttload of gallons, which could fill a 55-gallon barrel. It's going to do a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. But recycled bottles like sanitized soda or juice containers are viable, but must be rotated every 6 to 12 months to prevent leaks from biodegradation. Or bacterial growth. Adding a water filter or purification tablet ensures safety if stored water becomes compromised. Household in areas with reliable freshwater sources like lakes can reduce storage needs by learning purification techniques, but urban dwellers should prioritize larger reserves due to limited access. And some people are like, some people store dirty water. I don't know why they do it. They're like, well, I have water purification, so I just want to get the water in the container so that I can say I have it. I'm not sure why you would want to do that. But some people do it. Some people do it. I'm gonna go to the chat here real quick here. Let's see here. I agree. Yes, never fear. My presence is among you beautiful preppers. Okay, we'll try not to be scared, Brad. Blaine, good to see you, bro. Bought a 10 by 40 mobile office and set that up for my food storage seed starting area. I like it. I like it. Sassy says I need to work on water storage. Water storage is probably the number one prep that people fail at. Not because water's hard, but because it's a lack of effort and or space. So it's kind of a double-edged sword trying to store water. Think I have a basement, and so I can store hundreds of gallons down there. Let's see here. Cool Cold says I hit the 1 year mark, and I'm finding it difficult to keep up with the rotation. Uh, yeah, well, one of the problems that we have is that we constantly talk about the calories and we store food that we wouldn't normally eat because we're normally all trying to be skinny on our diets and stuff like that. Like I have more corn than I know what to do with. But I don't eat it very often. So it's difficult to rotate it. You know what I'm saying? It's maybe as you're rotating, buy the stuff that you want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really easy to get locked into this caloric battle. There were some couple of years back, I think it was West Virginia Pappy and I were kind of going back and forth on how many calories and like how many do you really eat? You know what I'm saying? It's like, how many calories did you eat today? I don't know. You know? um, but it's like trying to it's just math to help you get where you need to go. That's all it really is. And what you have to do is decide what foods you're going to use to meet that calorie density that you need. So it can be a little interesting. It can be a little interesting, but it led me to a lot of research on like MREs and truly how many calories do you really, 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 really need, that kind of thing. So. All right, so let's see here. So for long-term preparedness beyond 30 days, households should plan for an extended self-sufficiency. A 3 to 12 month stockpile tailored to family size and local risks. Kind of like risks like earthquakes. Like if you live in a earthquake zone, or you like live in a really remote area, this is going to provide greater security. Now, supplementing with sustainable food sources reduce dependency on stores. For instance, a 100 square foot garden can yield 100 pounds of potatoes annually, while indoor sprouting of lentils and alfalfa adds fresh nutrients. Learning to preserve food through canning or dehydrating extends harvests, and foraging and hunting skills can tap local resources. Households should start small, adding a week's worth of food monthly and integrating these skills over time to avoid overwhelm, uh, uh, or to avoid becoming overwhelmed. You want to ensure readiness for worst case scenarios without straining budgets or space. This is one of the reasons I always recommend to people my 6 can method. If you don't know what that is, every time I go to the store, I haven't been doing it for a while because I'm starting to really get stocked up. But when I do know that I need to do some prepping, I use my 6 can method, which means that every time I go to the store, whether it's for a pack of gum, a Red Bull, I got bored, something, I'll buy 6 cans of something. Vegetables is normally a great idea because they store forever. I get the meat, or I'll buy like some rice and I'll buy some beans. I don't really like doing that because I just have so much of it now. But I'll buy 6 cans of something. And then I'll try to rationalize to myself, okay, well, what's 6 cans? That's like $6. What can I buy for $6? Well, I can't even buy a can of coffee for $6. So, I'll try to rationalize those things. But basically, I always buy something when I'm out. Let's see here. Going to the chat. If the children are in the household, suggest introducing powdered milk to them prior to disaster. When the boys, we lived in a bag milk community, would mix with powdered milk to extend it. Was pricey. I don't know. Pricey was pricey. Yeah, I'm. That is actually part of our rotation. I do have the powdered milk that's good for 20 years, but we primarily use the powdered milk that's only good for about 6 to 9 months. It still has the oil in it, um, and that's actually tastes much better. We cook with it. I use it in my spaghetti sauce. Uh, um, the when the younger boy wants some coffee, I make him some creamer, that kind of thing. So it does get used, but powdered milk is a great idea. Local markets or farm. I think I feel like I skipped somebody here. Introducing milk. Bradley says, Blaine, I want to start a mushroom grow room. Just don't know where to start as far as selling them. That sounds lucrative. Blaine says, local markets, farmers. We want to start doing that. There you go. Store dirty water in case someone tries to steal some. There you go, Ian. That's funny. Bradley says, I stock up on pasta sauce or tomato paste so that my noodles aren't just plain and it ain't going, it goes well with all meat. Very true. Very true. Truth. Tim, I never thought of that. 6 cans of beer. I'm kind of picky about my beer. I will only drink the Guinness or the Yingling. So, let's see here. Vogel, are you growing mushrooms in wood? There's a question right there. Rose just put out. Blaine, are you growing mushrooms in wood? All right. And Sassy's like, you go, Tim. All right. So let's see here. We're gonna go ahead. Let me check the poll. We got 17 votes. How many people I don't even know how many people are in here. We got 25 people in here. Uh, do the poll. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't do. Make sure you hit the thumbs up though. Hit that thumbs up. All right, so what's the minimum food stockpile duration recommended for disaster preparedness? 30 days, 41% believe is the truth. 24 believe 6 months, 18 believe 7 days, and 18 believe 1 year. There is a year's worth of freeze-dried food underneath my bed. Hint, hint. Okay, let's see here. So now let's talk about where to stockpile your food. Where to stockpile your food. Where. All right, I'm going to go ahead and drink some coffee first because it's 180 degrees. And thanks to one of my followers, hint, hint. I love this thing. It matches perfectly with my local prepper mug. I saw somebody had a local prepper mug they were smoking some meat with in the live in the Discord. If you guys didn't know that there is a members only Discord for those of you that don't know, if you're not part of it. Hey, membership has its privileges. Today I sent off. If you guys should have seen that video about me screwing up, that I had a problem finding a box to fit all that stuff in that I owed alrighty then, and so it went out, and I had to fill out all sorts of like. I had to fill out some like crazy forms for the immigration it took me like half an hour to mail that package. It's crazy. And it's funny too because the one I picked the lowest cost one, and they're like, it's gonna go up. And it went from like $38 to $51 to mail that package. And I'm like, whoa. She's like, yeah, that's those are the tariffs. It's like, okay, so what about the other one? And she's like, there's no tariffs on that one. Okay, let's do that one. So it cost me 38 bucks. Well worth it. Well worth it. And I get to take it off on my taxes. So, all right, let's see here. So the primary food stockpile should be stored in a at home in a cool 50 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, dry and dark environment to maximize shelf life. Now, the general rule is you're not supposed to go below 42 degrees, and you're not supposed to go above 72 degrees. That's considered the perfect storage zone for pretty much anything that won't spoil. Let's see here. Basements, pantries, and under stairs closets work well, while areas near pipes, furnaces, or attics risk moisture or heat damage, accelerating spoilage. Elevated shelves keep food off the floor, protecting against pests and minor floods. And grouping them together by types, i.e., like grains, cans, or water, with clear expiration labels simplifies rotations. Now, when we talk about expiration, that's a whole other live stream all by itself. But some food does expire, so just because of its packaging most of the time. But just be aware. Let's see here. Airtight containers like Mylar bags or oxygen absorbers, food grade buckets or vacuum sealed jars. I just use totes. Shield against pests and humidity. Rice in Mylar can last 20 to 30 years versus 1 to 2 years in standard bags. In small spaces, stackable bins or underbed storage maximize efficiency. That's what I do. And multi-use furniture, kind of like ottomans, with compartments, can conceal supplies discreetly. Households should map out storage areas, prioritizing accessibility while avoiding clutter that could hinder evacuation or daily use. Now, with that said, with that said, we want to be diversifying storage locations, and this is going to mitigate risks like home destruction, theft, or being away during a crisis. As a single stockpile is valuable. Secondary stashes enhance resilience. At a workplace, believe it, you can store stuff at your work. A 3 to 7 day supply of compact foods like protein bars, freeze dried meals, nuts can fit in a locker or desk, respecting the office rules. The In a vehicle, a few days worth of MREs or energy drinks is in a sealed bin, protects against temperature fluctuations, ideal for stranded scenarios. For those who with access to a secondary property, a duplicate stockpile tailored to its capacity is going to add redundancy. Now, in extreme cases, buried caches in waterproof containers along evacuation routes or on one's property offer a last resort. Though they require careful sealing to prevent spoilage, you want to allocate maybe 70 to 80% of the stockpile at home and then 10 to 15% at secondary sites, and maybe 5 to 10% in vehicles or caches, kind of to balance the access and security. And of course, you're going to need to make regular checks to ensure that the stashes remain viable, especially in cars where heat can degrade food faster. I honestly don't keep food in my car um, unless it's in my bug out bag, and even then, that's going to be the freeze dried stuff because I know it's not going to go bad. And then the water is going to be I've never opened it, that kind of thing. So it's it's interesting. Now, improper storage invites losses from pests mold, or light exposure. Rodents, moths, and weevils can infest grains. Freezing bulk items for 48 hours before sealing kills the larvae, and diatomaceous earth deters crawlers, because it's not in a non-toxic way. Dry containers prevent mold in rice or pasta, and bulging or dented cans can be discarded to avoid botulism. Light degrades oils and nutrients, so opaque containers or dark storage areas are essential. Monthly inspection is going to catch issues early. And households in pest prone areas, kind of like in rural settings where we always have a field mice here and there, should double down on traps and sealed bins, ensuring the stockpile remains intact for emergencies. For emergencies. All right, let's see here. We're going to go to the. You're very welcome, Alan. A promise is a promise. Let's see here. Powdered almond milk holds up okay. Try the bougie. I guess this is the bougie brand. Gotcha, gotcha. Yay, coffee! A 6 second instant cappuccino drinks. They are smooth in a blackout. Yeah, I mean yes, I like those as well, but I worry about how long I can store them because there's a lot of oil in those things. Um, Pretty much anything that really truly tastes good is never going to store properly. Never store for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. You don't buy six every time you go to work at Walmart, question mark, since everyone thinks you work there. Everyone thinks I work at Walmart because I go there so often. It's the only major store where I live. I mean, there's a Food Line, but I gotta like go through like 12 traffic lights to get to that damn thing. Well, no, there's some traffic involved. I mean, f- I just find it. Listen, if I can find, model glue, a bike tire, a hammer, and something for supper, I'm gonna go to that place. I do like spreading my money out throughout town because I think it just keeps businesses open. But yeah, well, and Food Line used to have these monthly coupon books that they sent out. They stopped doing it. I don't know, maybe it's the economy or something, but they used to send out these monthly coupon books, and they would send them to you the beginning of the last week of the month, and they were good for like the first 10 days of that next month, right? And they were actually like significant savings. Haven't seen those in the mail in some time now, so screw you, Food Line, screw you. Learn. Well, let's see here. Amish smoke their chicken to make it last longer on the shelf. There you go. Fun fact: years worth of freeze dried food requires 2 years worth of water. Ha ha ha. That's true. Wait, someone was smoking pulled pork and turkey while drinking coffee in a local proper coffee mug. What a guy. I know, right? He's a solid citizen. Blaine, did you start with the soaked wood? Need moisture to grow. Don't use lumber. You can use cut up, downed tree heavy lumber or part that will absorb the. Okay, you're talking about growing mushrooms. Let's see. Yeah, I consider doing a buried food and water on the property, but only a 3-day supply. Yeah, I mean it's not a bad idea to have a cache. You know what I'm saying? It's like I kind of look at it like, hey, if my house burns down tomorrow, I should be able to go out and like go to my cache and get everything I need to live in a tent for at least 72 hours. You know what I'm saying? Everything, I keep SOS bars in my vehicles. There you go. Let's see. Dumber dried me out. Most coupons are online now. That's true, Sassy. That's true. Most coupons are online, but I mean, it's maybe I should check the Food Lion coupons online. Let's see here. Rose says that's the secret. You need to keep the wood wet. Have friends that started off with the trees soaked in a creek or pond for months to get waterlogged. Okay. Vegan Cookie says recommendations on mobile ham radio equipment UV5R. If you can find the UV8s, that's great. UV5Rs are about $25 now. Sassy says, or through your store loyalty. That's just it. I do have a store loyalty card. That's how we were getting them. Um, Blaine says, yes, I have to try that next time. There you go. All right. So, all right, let's see. We're going to look at the poll real quick. The poll has got 21 votes. Still currently, 38% believe that 30 days is the standard. All right. So, with that said, looks like we're about halfway through the live stream already, and you know what that means. Put a number one in the chat if you love your country. I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to talk some smack. I'm going to read you some stuff because it's an educational channel. Glug, glug, glug. And then I'm going to pay some bills. All right, guys, I've got the Refuge Medical going on up there. If you did not know it, do not be deterred by the number I'm about to throw at you. But if you spend $299 or more at Refuge Medical this month, Refuge Medical is going to send you a Mother's Day basket full of all sorts of things that could actually like make her happy and maybe save a life. Hmm. It's a thing. It's a thing. And if you don't have that kind of money, then just look at the fact that it's the best medical equipment company on the planet. Everything that they have is sourced in America, hand sewn in America, and sold to Americans. I know a lot of guys in the special ops community that love their trash, and there's a reason for that. And with that said, if you want to save a little bit of money, like 15% off, you could use the code local prepper, all one word, to save that money. Not a joke. Not a joke. All right, guys. That's all I'm going to say. You're adults. Spend money the way you want to. You made it. You earned it. You spend it. Oh, and by the way, guaranteed for life. Guaranteed for life. If you rip your gear, call them up. They'll say send it to them. They'll look at it and they'll be like, okay, here's your new one. And if you use the gear to save somebody's life, you write them a little email on what happened, and they'll be like, oh, okay, what'd you use? I used this, that, and the other thing. It's on its way. It's on its way right back to you. That's right, guys. It's that freaking good. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get back to the main and get back to the live stream. All righty. With that said, and yeah, that chat is so weird. It should have stayed and it didn't. Use code local prepper, all one word, guys, all one word to save 15%. Thank you very much, Bradley. Appreciate you. If you're looking for a link, I'm not sure how I did it this time. Sometimes there's it says like gear that I like down below. If not, there's actually like a real link. I may have to go back and update this. We'll see what happens. YouTube has been taking out my link. It's like I'll go back tomorrow and all the links for today's live stream will be gone. It doesn't make any damn sense. I don't know why it's happening. I'm starting to like, am I like losing my mind? No, I am not. Anyway, we're going to sip some coffee and we're going to talk about some additional considerations. All right. So, nutrition is vital, even in crisis. You know, a carb heavy stockpile like rice pasta kind of lacks the proteins, the fats, and the micronutrients needed for energy and health. You know, you want to include canned meats like tuna, spam. I have a lot of canned meats, jerky, lentils, nuts, seeds, cooking oils, dried fruits, freeze-dried vegetables to balance the diets. Um, Now, multivitamins or powdered greens prevent deficiencies like scurvy during prolonged reliance on stores. For medical conditions like diabetes, you want to stock low glycemic options, maybe some quinoa or some buckwheat, or consult a dietitian for tailored plans. You want to ensure all household members thrive under stress, and they can do that better with regulated sleep cycles and having their bellies full of food that's good for them. Now, cultural or religious dietary preferences like halal or kosher should also guide choices. And taste testing foods beforehand avoids waste or unpalatable items. The last thing you want to do is buy a bunch of stuff that you've never tasted before. And then one day you open them up and you're like, oh my God, I have $100 worth of this food that tastes like a dog's ass. You don't want that to happen. Trust me, you're going to have a bad day. So taste your food. Taste your food. All right, so cooking without power requires equipment like a propane camp stove, solar cooker, or fire pit, plus fuel, kind of like 4 to 6 propane canisters for 30 days. And and that is like that's like the big canisters, because 4 to 6 of those little canisters will not last you 30 days. Um, a manual can opener, pots and utensils, portable water filter or boiling kit ensures safe hydration if water sources are questionable. Store equipment near the stockpile for quick access, and practice using it annually to confirm functionality. Adjusting fuel reserves based on cooking habits, kind of like boiling rice daily, consumes more than reheating the cans. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. Everything requires a certain level of energy. Now, stockpile certain security demands discretion, as sharing details risks attracting desperate neighbors or looters in a crisis. Vague responses like, I keep a little extra, deflects curiosity, and hidden storage, false walls, locked sheds, is going to deter theft. Now, in high crime areas, reinforce storage with locks or alarms, and consider decoy stashes or less valuable items to mislead intruders, preventing the main supply, or I'm sorry, preserving the main supply. Now, rotation keeps the stockpile fresh. Use older items in daily meals and replace them promptly. Tracking expirations with apps or a notebook. Every 6 months, inspect for pest damage, leaks, or spoilage. Refreshing water to avoid stagnation. I change my water out every 6 months. Automated reminders or a dedicated stockpile day streamlines things, especially for busy household managing large reserves. Now, long-term resilience requires skills beyond stockpiling. Canning preserves the garden produce. Fermenting adds probiotics. I love the whole fermenting thing. And pickling too, believe it or not. And sprouting seeds delivers fresh greens in days, which is ideal for things like apartments. Researching local edible plants, kind of like dandelions or cattails, or starting a greenhouse ensures year-round food, even in urban settings. Hunting or fishing skills tap protein sources, but require legal permits and practice. Joining community gardens or prepper groups builds knowledge and networks, easing the learning curve while fostering mutual support. Now, I'm going to throw some numbers at you. I'm going to throw some numbers at you. And this is going to be like what to stockpile, family of four, 30 days, that kind of thing. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and check the poll. We're still at 38% is winning the poll. What is the minimum food stockpile duration recommended for disaster preparedness? 38% believe 30 days, 24% believe 6 months, 24% believe 1 year, and 14% believe 7 days. All right, let's see here. Sassy says you can also use pine cone as mulch in your garden and flower bed. It works kind of like it worked kind of like diatomatic earth. Okay, cool. She also says we have small hydroponic gardens for growing lettuce and herbs indoors year round. I just got some tomato plants actually 3 tomato plants in my apartment window right now, and they've already got buds on them, and I should be getting some tomatoes. I want some tomatoes. All right, let's see here. So, a little practical exercise. Let's do a little practical exercise. So, I need coffee. I need coffee. I need 180-degree coffee. So, stockpiling for a family of four for 30 days. And the numbers are kind of interesting. So, a family of four needs 150 to 200 pounds of food, 40 pounds of rice, 32 pounds of beans, 120 to 240 cans, meats, veggies, fruits, that kind of thing, um, 20 pounds of oats, 40 pounds of peanut butter, 10 pounds of dry fruit slash nuts. Um, and you can supposedly store this in a 4 by 4 foot pantry. Now, the water is going to total, and this is actually kind of low, I believe, but the water is going to total 120 gallons, i.e., 55-gallon barrels. That's a lot of damn water. So you need some space, and your floor needs to be able to handle the weight too. You might have to spread it out. You want to allocate 80% at home. Basements are recommended, 10% at work, and 10% in your car. Equipment includes a propane stove, 4 canisters, a can opener, 2 pots, and a water filter. The estimated cost is between $600 and $1,200. Food insurance, reduced by bulk buys or gradual purchases. Urban families might lean on canned goods for space, while rural ones add garden outputs, tailoring to their environment. Now, doing some expanded recommendations, we recommend that you start gradually and build wisely. Begin with a 1 week stockpile. Add in a few items, maybe 10 to 20 dollars extra at the grocery store. Basically, just throw them in your cart and forget about them. Focus on sales or generics like rice. At 50 cents a pound versus $1 a pound. This is going to save hundreds of dollars over time. Now, spread costs over months to avoid financial strain and prioritize multi use foods like oats for breakfast or baking. And you want to integrate them into your daily life. You want to reduce waste and rotation stress, which is what somebody was just talking about. It's like, hey, this is getting pretty big. It's getting harder and harder to rotate it. Um, Another thing we can do is we can leverage technology for management. You can use inventory apps like Pantry Check or spreadsheets to track quantities and expirations, setting alerts for rotation. You can use smart thermometers in storage area to monitor the temperature and humidity, preventing spoilage in fluctuating climates. Kind of like if you live on the coast or something, where it's humid. Um, Online prepper forums or YouTube tutorials. Anyway, offer free tips on storage hacks like DIY Mylar sealing, empowering cost-conscious households. We can also customize for regional risk. And so coastal areas prone to hurricanes need waterproof storage and portable stashes for evacuation. Earthquake zones require a secured shelf to prevent cans from falling. Rural households might stock more fuel for cooking due to sparse infrastructure, while urban ones focus on compact, ready to eat foods for sheltering in place. What you want to do is research your local disaster history via the FEMA or the USGS websites to align plans with likely threats. This is so that what you're doing remains relevant. Another thing you can do too is build community resilience. You maybe connect with your neighbors or local prepper groups, discreetly to share skills, not supplies. Maybe have some bartering knowledge, like canning for gardening tips, that kind of thing. Maybe strengthens networks without exposing your stockpile. What do we got here? Community gardens or co-ops, bulk items stretch resources, especially for low-income households, fostering mutual aid that can prove invaluable in prolonged crisis. And then the last thing we can recommend is test and simulate scenarios, which pretty much nobody does. If you've actually done a simulation, if you've simulated what you're going to do, put a number 1 in the chat. If you have not, put a number 2 in the chat. Remember, honest answers are the only answers that count. All right, so conduct a weekend stockpile challenge using only stored food and water, cooking with backup equipment. This identifies gaps like missing spices for palatability, and it builds confidence. Simulate power outages or evacuation drills to refine plans. This is going to should I say, ensuring kids or elderly members can access supplies easily and adjust for accountability or accessibility, kind of like low shelves for wheelchair people, things like that. So with that said, I'm going to, Ian says point 0.5. That it's an honest answer. It's an honest answer. And I appreciate you answering because I think everybody's slack today. I think it's a Monday and everybody's being slack. All right, let's see here. Late Ritter says 7 to 14 day minimum will help you determine what foods to stockpile. If not, you will wind up with a bunch of incomplete meals. That's true. That's true. All right, let's see here. Ian's done it halfway. Light Redder's done it has done it. We got Laszlo's never done it. Deanna's never done it. Bradley put a 0. Never thought about actually performing drills, and I think the wife wouldn't participate. Well, that happens. I appreciate your honest answer. Barefoot says no. Catitude says yes and no. Okay. Vegan says, don't forget a quality can opener. I'm serious. Oh, absolutely. I have multiple quality can openers. Matter of fact, I've got one of those that have that long handle on it. Oh my goodness. Ian says long weekends, primary camping. Yeah, I mean, yeah, go camping. You know what I'm saying? That is one of the best ways to do it. Um, I mean, it's not ideal, okay? But you're going to use, and if you're using the stuff that you're going to use and you take the stuff that you're going to use, you know what I'm saying? Then yes, yes, do it. And you're obviously going to have to augment it. I got a 0. Debbie says no. Um, it's you've obviously got to augment it. You've got to have the burgers, you got to have the fries, you got to have the chips, you got to have the stuff. You know what I'm saying? But still, I think camping is really, really good because, one of the things that I think about when we talk about preparedness, grid down some of the boys from Red Dawn who like they just got what they needed and they went to the mountains. Why? Because that's not what their dad told them to do. Their dad didn't say if something goes wrong, run to the mountains. They went there because they knew that they could live off the land. They knew the land. They knew that they could hunt. You know what I'm saying? They knew that they could survive. They knew that they could scavenge and do whatever they needed to do. They knew it was a safe place, you know. And when you go camping, it's very, very similar because you're using skills, you're building knowledge, and it's a perfect opportunity to impart that knowledge onto your children. And I'm not saying have classes, I'm saying like the simplest thing, like how not to burn a marshmallow on a fire. You know what I'm saying? Um, hey, Dad, I want to cook breakfast in the morning. Okay, let me know if you need anything. Some things like that. Those are skills that these kids are going to keep with them for the rest of their lives. And it's so very, very important. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. Rose says 30 days. Oh, I'm sorry. Lyra says 30 without going to the store. Yeah, there you go. Meant to say primitive camping. I got you. Rose says, when was traveling always carried stuff with me, when was driving was more difficult, if was flying to sight, if you need, you could be travel home with it. There you go. Wait, you don't burn marshmallows? Great. Now I got to try that. No, you don't burn them. You brown the marshmallows. Oh, we're gonna have to have a talk, Bradley. You brown the marshmallows. I always caught mine on fire. That's the I don't care marshmallow. It's like, oh man, whatever, you know. Okay, so final thoughts, guys. And anything you want to put about, now is the time to put it in the chat. Also, if you have not done the poll, now is the time to do the poll. Um, households or a household's food stockpile is a cornerstone of disaster preparedness, requiring careful planning for quantity and storage. A 30-day supply, diversified across home, work, and vehicles, ensures short-term security, while proper conditions like cool, dry, and sealed preserve it. Nutrition, equipment, and discretion enhance resilience, and skills like gardening or foraging extend resources long term. By starting small, customizing for risks, and integrating technology or community support, families can build robust safety nets. For tailored guidance, space constraints, dietary needs, or local threats, further details can refine the approach, ensuring readiness without being overwhelmed. All right, so I'll char. No, want the first char, then brown. Uh, that's the poll question right there, man. When you're cooking your marshmallows, do you want them charred? Do you want them burnt, or do you want them brown? That's the poll question. Cook the marshmallow in layers to enjoy longer. How do you cook a marshmallow in layers? That's funny. Anyway, so trying to think. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Looks like the poll is already finished up. We got 21 votes. There's 25 people in here, so we have 4 slackers. Don't be a slacker. Don't be a slacker. All right. So with all that said, guys, let's see here. You know what? You guys want me to give something away? I'll give away something right now. Not a joke. I have it. I have it. I have it right here. I have it right here. I will give it away right now as long as I get like 20 something frickin' 20 something number ones in the chat, and I will give away something right now. Not a joke. I'm going to drink a little bit of coffee. In fact, I'm going to pour my backup coffee into the cup because I like drinking out of that cup so much. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If I get a buttload of ones, I will give away something right now. Not a joke. It's right here on my desk. Let's see. Oh, free advice. No, it's not advice. It's an actual, they're actual items. Actual items. They're right there. They're right there. Barefoot, yes. One. I should be seeing much more enthusiasm for the free items. What's brown? Suck off the brown again. Suck off. Oh, I see. I see. I've seen people do that. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, so we've got a bunch of ones flying in here. I honestly feel like it's a little slow. I feel like people are slacking a little bit. I feel like there's not enough participation because it's a Monday and everybody free coffee? No, coffee. No. Coffee's not free. Coffee's not free unless you own a diner. Anyway, all right, so here's what I'm going to do. I feel like we got enough of it. Now that you guys understand the level of participation that I require, okay? So here's what's going to happen. I'm enthusiastic. So, last week I gave away 2 gifts during the members only live Discord. If you guys don't know what that is, you should really get involved because for the members, every Thursday at 7 p.m. we have the live Discord, and what that means is I'm transmitting like what you see now, without all the stuffs on it, and everybody else can transmit back to me, and we actually like have conversations. We talk to each other about preparedness, about the world, about everything. Talk about some crazy stuff, and even when I leave, people still talk. So it's just a good time to be had by all. So. If you're interested, there is a link in the description. I recommend that you do get involved. But with that said, I gave away 2 gifts. The first one went out, or they went out in the mail, and actually both 2 Canadians won. So I got up with Alrighty. He's my number one Canadian. I sent his stuff out today, and I got up with the second one yesterday. I was like, dude, I need your address. And he's like, oh, well, listen. And I think he was just kind of being very obsecky. Okay, which I respect. He's like, you know what? Just give that to somebody else. And I was thinking, okay, I'll do that. And then I had it over here, and I was like, I'm going to give it away. So here's what I'm going to give away. I need shit. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I'm thinking of. Let's see. There are 23 people in here. So I am thinking. I'm gonna hold on a second. I need. Put that cat out. I don't want to roll over her. All right. Now I need something to write on. What is this mess? What is that's perfect. Okay, so local prepper clipboard, blank piece of paper. There are 26 of you in here. There's 26 of you in here. I am thinking of a number, and I'm going to write it down. You can't see this, can you? Okay, no, good. I just wrote that number down. Whoa. I just wrote that number down. I'm going to flip this clipboard over. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 26. Write the number in the chat. That is going to be entering to win. Canadians, you cannot play today. No, you can play, but you can't win, Canadians. So I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 26. You're going to put it in the chat. And then when I got like 26 votes or whatever, then I'm going to tell you who won. It's amazing all the lurkers come out for this stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on. Come on, you can do it. 11. Come on, you can do it. Everybody's like looking to see what everybody's typing so they don't double up. What number is this? You have to barefoot, you have in order to win, you have to put a number between 1 and 26. Do I know how to build a radio antenna? Yes, I do. The nerd in me wants to build a 30-foot radio antenna. Well, the antennas are, it depends on the frequency range that you're going to use because the antenna has to be the same length, the necessary length. The best ones to make are called dipoles. All right, so we're getting so close. We're getting so close. I need to make this chat bigger. Let's see. Rob, I think Rob, let me check here. 25. I thought somebody picked 20. Laz already picked 25, so you get to put another one in there. Rose and I typed the same time. Okay, I'm going to give it a couple more seconds, then we're going to call it. Then we're going to call it. And I'm going to put a marker in there. Let's see here. Something is uh, entry is closed. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and close it off now. So anybody who puts it in right after this, then yeah, we're going to go. Boop. All right. So entry is closed, guys. Entry is closed. All right. So here's the winner. There's our winner right there, guys. Number 22. Number 22. It looks like oops, you won. Oops, you won. And oops is not a member, so oops, what I need you to do, okay? I need you to send me an email. Send me an email with your name and your mailing address, and I will put this is a brand new one. The Ranger Medic Handbook. This thing is freaking awesome. It has a little bit of everything inside of it. Oh, where we go. This was written for the 75th Ranger Regiment, and it has pretty much everything you can think about as far as like keeping somebody alive. Its focus, it looks like a 3 to me. Its focus. Bradley and Ian is always vegan cookies the same. It's like I didn't win, so I'm going to say something. Its focus is for taking care of people at the site in order to get them to other places. Also, in your box, I'm going to send you this card game called Conflicted. This is full of some survival scenarios that you can play with your family. So I'm going to be sending that out to you. And as soon as you email me with that email address, or as soon as you email me at contactlocalprepper@gmail.com, I will put it in the mail to you. It's an easy fit. I actually have a box that this will fit in. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Sign the book before. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'll do you one better. Vegan cookies. And of course, I've got to. I mean, there may be one in there already. Let me check. Maybe it's too far in there. I thought we put. There we go. There we go. It's already got a sticker in it. There you go. You're gonna get a sticker. Maybe I will sign. I mean, that's kind of isn't that kind of faux pas to sign someone else's book? I mean, I didn't write it. Autographed. I don't. It's LP. Gosh. Signed a book, but I mean, it's still not a bad idea. I mean, but yeah, Sassy. I bought this literally like last week, and I started looking through it, and I thought this was a really great book. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give this book away because it's got so much stuff into it. I think some people can get a little bit more out of this than I would. And then with the conflicted cards, that's a great game. Got to get the sticker, man. Got to get the sticker going there. High demand for those stickers. Yeah, these are. I got to find a company because I'm running out of them. I bought some that I thought were right, and they were like these little itty bitty ones. I have like a whole giant envelope of like 200 of these little itty bitty local prepper stickers that I absolutely hate. All right, talk to you later, Bradley. All right, guys, I think that's going to be about it for today. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out. If you have not subscribed, please do so now and hit that bell for notifications. Um, you are dedicating to the winner, even if not the writer. I got you. I got you. All right, cool beans. All right, guys, I'm going to go and push some buttons now. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Stay safe. Have a great, well, I might do a live stream later on this afternoon, but that'll be something completely different. Have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you. Bye bye.